Huber in the morning on 100.7 The Bay.
My dad's got a friend. His name's Crazy Tony.
I love him already.
And he has his own merch. He has a shirt and a hat and a sweatshirt that all say Crazy Tony. Is it time to break out the end up line?
Merch. Let's do it. Well, I mean, right after we make merch for the true star of the program. On this day. Miles.
Mm-hmm.
It's time! On this day.
It's Huber in the mornings on this day on 100.7 The Bay.
That's right, it is indeed. Time for the radio sensation Sweep in the Nation. Taking a deep dive into March 29th throughout the annals of history, listening to clips, reminiscing about days gone by, all the while trying to guess the year. You can play along, and we implore you to do so. 410-5841-007, 410-5841-100.7, all in a little segment we like to call... On this day, here we go.
Before we get started, my ears are very clogged today.
Oh, yeah.
Listening to this bed, it sounds like a Victorian ghost is coming down the hallway. It is so haunting in my ears. I thought I was dying. I panicked for a second. I don't know what it is. It's like just feedbacking in my ear.
Panicked or celebrated?
She's coming to get me. Gertrude.
It's James Hetfield. He's coming in to take your hand.
Let's go.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, we are going to leave the great state of Maryland, the amazing city of Baltimore, and we're going to take a little trip right now to Beverly Hills. That's right, on this day, in a year to be discussed, Weezer released Beverly Hills. It was the lead single from their Make Believe album.
So we talked about this a few weeks ago with a different Weezer album where you said that there are fantastic top to bottom Weezer albums. Then they're just albums where I get a single and that's all we get. Do you believe Make Believe is that album? Because we have Perfect Situation that also comes from this.
And Crab is on this record, I think. That's another really good tune. I think this was kind of a return to form Weezer record.
Okay.
I like this one. But again, it's not even in the same... Blue Album and Pinkerton are in their own ballpark. And to be honest, and I hate to say this because it sounds morbid, but if, like, Rivers Cuomo gets hit by a bus after Pinkerton, they're, like, Nirvana level, best band ever, imagine what could have happened.
Right.
The only problem is we got to see what could have happened. I mean, this may be a different argument or a different topic, but I've said this in the past, like, say Nirvana kept going and made like just 4 terrible albums in a row and just turned into 3 Days Grace and nobody cared.
Right.
Are we still listening to Nevermind?
No.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Right.
No, hipsters with a handlebar mustache would have found it probably in the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
But other than that, if Nirvana would have continued into the 2000s, I don't know if they would have had the same feel or the same vibe.
Like, what if Kurt Cobain would have done like a reverse Chris Gaines and put on like a cowboy hat and boots? Made a record. We'd be like, man, what happened to that band?
What would save Kurt Cobain if he was alive today, I believe, would be like the Billie Eilishes, the Post Malones that would want to do those collaborations. It meant something to them in the early 90s, but meant nothing to them from the 2000s to today.
I mean, this band, for better or for worse, depending on your opinion of them or your level of fandom, is still out there selling monstrous venues, arenas, stadiums, etc. And I got made fun of ad nauseum for being a huge Weezer fan when I was younger.
Weezer's a band that I really, really like, but people are like, you like Weezer? Because I'm so hard on the alternative genre, but I think they do what they do better than anybody in the alternative, vein.
They're just watered down Kiss. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's heavy riffs, but it's poppy songs. And, the first record was produced by Rick Ocasek. And if you know that, and then you listen to the Cars songs, and you're like, oh, my God, Shake It Up. It's just a Weezer song. This is just a Weezer song. I was like, oh, my God. So they had that beginning. You know what I mean? And then Pinkerton is like Weezer's Paul's Boutique. Like, Weezer came out with the Blue Album, and then Pinkerton was different than the Blue Album, and we were all like,
Right.
Same way the Beastie Boys do License to Ill, Fight for Your Right to Party, and Brass Monkey, and all those goofy songs. Then they do Paul's Boutique, which is this, like, artistic, like, sample-heavy masterpiece. And everybody was like, we're over here trying to fight for our rights.
Right. What happened to Paul Revere?
Right. And then as time goes by and water goes under the bridge, people are like, oh, yeah, this is brilliant. All that being said, back to Weezer, who, again, are out on tour playing monstrous venues in 2024. You know.
Yeah, they don't need my critiques.
30 years later, after this Blue album came out, they're still packing monstrous venues. So God bless them. This record, though, was, I believe, their kind of re-ascension back into stardom. I do believe that.
Okay.
Early 2000s for sure. 04 to no later than 06, but not early O's. 03, 04, 05. Let's go to the crowdsource. Oh, man. Well, that was an easy one. I was in the 03 to 05 range, and everybody on the text board says the year of my Lord, 2005.
It is 2005.
It is 2005.
That is correct.
Hey, can
That
we have
is correct.
a perfect week since we didn't do it yesterday?
Is correct.
Is that a fact?
That's the fact.
I guess.
You guess? Nice. This is going to feel good today. Trust me, it is a Friday. I am in love with all of you at 410-584-100.7. And to celebrate that, we'll be back with part 2 of the radio sensation, Sweet!
I was waiting for the breath.
Next. Time for part 2 of the radio sensation, Sweet! With the nation. Here we go.
It's Huber in the mornings on this day on 100.7 The Bay.
That's right. Earlier we were talking about Weezer. Now we're moving on to an equally popular artist, although significantly smoother.
A songbird of his generation.
That's right. It is time to jump on board the yacht and rock out to Mr. Christopher Cross.
Very distinctive look Christopher Cross has.
So I'll read the story because you always yell at me for not reading the story.
Okay.
How am I going to talk over this? All right, everybody, goodbye. Arthur's theme, parenthetically entitled, The Best That You Can Do. Sung by Mr. Christopher Cross, wins the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Cross wrote the song with Burt Bacharach for the film Arthur, starring Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli. And that is just a motley crew in general. Christopher Cross, Liza Minnelli, Dudley Moore, and Burt Bacharach walk into a bar. You know what I mean? Like waiting for a punchline after that. List of people.
Nobody that looks like producer Matt and me should be winning awards and have a voice this good.
So this song is actually kind of a case study in popular music, in that it was a popular song until MTV came along and people got to look at this dude. And then somebody at MTV got to look at Simon Le Bon's face, the lead singer of Duran Duran, and we go, need a lot more Hungry Like a Wolf, a lot less Arthur.
So yesterday, for the On This Day that we did not get to because of the technical difficulties, I had Duran Duran in there. And when I was a kid and I saw Duran Duran for the first time and I figured out what the Milli Vanilli situation was, I was like, there is no way that attractive of a man can sing that well.
I mean, even his name is hot. Hello, my name is Simon Le Bon.
Can we say that Christopher Cross ran so Ed Sheeran, or what, walked so Ed Sheeran could run?
Why have I never connected those dots before? Christopher Sheeran, Ed Cross.
Ed Sheeran kind of looks like a frog.
Is Christopher Cross still kicking? If not, I'm pretty sure Ed Sheeran is him reincarnated. Find out if Christopher Cross...
I don't want to make fun of somebody that passed this morning.
Is he gone? We don't know. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely a case study when you look back at popular music that all of a sudden, not only did you have to be talented and a good songwriter and a good musician, but you had to look good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the look good started to get higher and higher on the list of qualifications for being a pop star, and the talent and musicianship plummeted down the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like even rock stars. Rock stars were supposed to be dirty, gritty.
Right. They were all supposed to be Lemmy.
Right.
Right.
And then we got
You
Bret
don't know
Michaels.
who's singing. Is Lemmy singing? Is that Mole singing? We don't know.
Oh, my God. We could do this forever, but I need a year.
410-584-100.7. It's Friday. We're going into Easter weekend. I need you. 410-584-1007. When the hell did this come out? The only person who has dropped the line so far is Chris from the Eastern Shore, who probably was, roller skating with Christopher Cross back in the day. I don't know. And Patty from Relay just checked in, and they got two different answers. I got an 81 and I got an 82.
Christopher Cross, Chris from the Eastern Shore. It's couple skating. So I just got a note from Mini Horse. Christopher Cross, still with us.
Woo! Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I hope he just made 3 cents off of us playing that song on the radio for him. I'm going to go with Chris from the Eastern Shore. I'm going to log it in the year of our Lord, 1982.
It is 1982.
That is correct. That is correct. That is correct.
But is it a fact?
That's the fact, Jack!
Nice. Good. All right.
It's a trap!
And now time.
I want you to put your hands together and welcome to the stage. Big round of applause for Jackson Heights own Mr. Randy Watson. Yes.
Nice. Really nice.
That was cool.
Very good.
That was neat.